Okay, back for part 2 of SOHCAHTOA. I'm Mr. Orr, and what we're doing now is solving for angle measures when we are given side lengths. Again, we're using SOHCAHTOA. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent is opposite over adjacent. Now, very often the problem will say solve the triangle. And what that means is find all missing sides and missing angles. So in this case, we need x and y as well as the hypotenuse w. All right, the way we're going to do that is, again, setting it up in a very similar manner, but doing a slightly different calculation. In this case, I'm going to start with angle x, and I'm going to do the tangent. I'm going to say the tangent of x equals 7 over 9. Now, actually, I'm going to put a little -1 in here. The tangent of x equals 7 over 9. When you go to your calculator, and I don't know if you can see this or not, but hopefully you can, what I'm going to do is look toward the second set of markings for each key on the calculator. So if you will look at the sign, and then right above that, in my case it's in blue letters because the second key is blue, it says sine -1. So and the same with cosine -1, tangent -1, which is the inverse. And that's what we have to use in order to find angle measures. So each time you are looking for an angle measure, you are going to use the second button. If you're looking for a side length, you go straight to sine, cosine, and tangent. And if you're looking for an angle measure, you go second and then sine, cosine, and tangent. In this case, we are looking for whatever the angle measure is for the tangent of a ratio of 7 to 9. So I'm going to hit second tangent 7 divided by 9, and I get 37.87. So we have found this angle 37.87 degrees. Now, the second angle is easy because it has to be, these two angles have to add up to 90 degrees. So I can just say 90 minus, and then in this case, because this answer, 37.87, is already in my calculator, I can just say 90 minus second answer, which is the negative button clear down here at the bottom, and I hit enter, and I get 52.13. If I round, 52.13. Could have found the same answer by using trig, but it's easier this way. Okay, now we need w. So now we can use either the sine or the cosine, or in fact, you could use the Pythagorean theorem if you wanted to. But since this is all about trig, we're going to use trig. So I'm going to say the sine of 52.13 is equal to 9 over w, opposite over hypotenuse. So, remember from the last video, the shortcut is 9 divided by sine of 52.13. So 9 divided by sine 52.13, and I get 11.4. That would be the side length over here, which makes sense. It's longer than either of these two. It has to be because it's the hypotenuse. So, notice that I did not use the second button when I was finding the side length. Again, you only use that button when you are using an inverse trig function, and in that situation you are finding an angle measure of a right triangle. Once again, I know I've said it several times, once again, you use the regular trig functions when you are looking for side lengths, and you use the second button and then the trig functions when you are looking for angle measures. Okay, in the next video, we're going to be taking a look at the law of sines. I'll be back.